Are religious people just dumb? But confident, reflective tone. They believe in things science can't prove. They follow stories written thousands of years ago. And because of that, some people call them dumb. But what if it's not stupidity? It's something else. What if behind belief, there's something deeper? Something we stopped listening to? This isn't about defending religion. It's about questioning the insult. Are religious people just dumb? Or are we asking the wrong question? Are religious people just dumb? Part 1, the question behind the question. Let's address the elephant in the room. In a world increasingly driven by science, logic, and reason, religion often finds itself on trial, not just for its teachings, but for the intellect of those who follow it. You still believe in that? Some ask. Fairy tales for grown-ups, others say. And so the assumption grows that religious people must be less educated, less logical, or simply less evolved. But let's pause. Where does this idea come from? And more importantly, is it true? Studies do show certain trends, such as a correlation between higher education and secularism in some countries. But data is complex. In many parts of the world, the most brilliant scientists, thinkers, and artists are deeply religious. So maybe the real question isn't whether religious people are dumb. Maybe it's why we even feel the need to ask it. To answer that, we have to look at how religion and intelligence have been framed and often weaponized in cultural debates. It's less about IQ and more about identity, because when someone holds a belief that feels irrational to us, it's tempting to dismiss not just the belief, but the believer. But doing that misses something deeper. Religion isn't just about belief, it's about meaning, story, community, purpose. To label religious people as dumb is to ignore the emotional, social, and psychological role faith has played for thousands of years. It's not an argument, it's an insult, and behind that insult is fear. Fear that someone else's worldview threatens our own. Let's unpack that more in Part 2. Part 2, Faith versus Fact, or False Dichotomy. Much of the religious people are dumb narrative comes from the idea that faith and reason are opposites, that to believe in God is to shut off your brain. But is that actually true? Let's look historically. Some of the world's greatest minds were people of faith. Isaac Newton, the father of modern physics, who wrote more on theology than science. Galileo, who, despite conflict with the church, remained a believer. Albert Einstein, who spoke often of cosmic religion and the awe of the universe. Faith didn't block their thinking, it fueled their curiosity. Modern science emerged in part because people believed the universe was orderly, intelligible, and created by a rational mind. That belief gave them the confidence to investigate it. Even today, many brilliant academics, from neuroscientists to mathematicians, hold deep religious convictions. So why the stereotype? Part of it is cultural. In some regions, religion is associated with fundamentalism, anti-intellectualism, and fear of progress. And yes, there are cases where religion has suppressed inquiry, but that's not the whole picture. In truth, the conflict isn't between smart people and dumb people. It's between different ways of knowing. Science asks, what is it? How does it work? Religion asks, why does it matter? What does it mean? They're not enemies, they're lenses. And we need both to see the full picture. When we reduce religion to superstition, we miss the depth of its symbolism, its ethics, and its power to shape identity. Dismissing religious people as dumb is lazy thinking. It pretends that truth is only found in data and forgets that humans are more than logic machines. Which brings us to the final and perhaps most important question. What does it cost us to judge each other this way? Part 3, the cost of contempt and the possibility of connection. Let's be honest. Calling religious people dumb doesn't lead to enlightenment. It leads to division. It's not a path to truth. It's a shortcut to superiority. And it's one of the reasons the world feels more fragmented than ever. When we mock what others hold sacred, we don't challenge them. We alienate them. It's easy to feel smarter when we compare ourselves to caricatures. But real people are more complex. Some religious people wrestle deeply with their faith. Some question, doubt, and still choose to believe, not because they're naive, but because they see something worth holding on to. Others find in faith the language for beauty, mystery, and morality that no scientific formula can fully capture. And some people do hold beliefs that are problematic or misinformed. But that doesn't make them stupid. It makes them human. We all hold contradictions. We all cling to things that bring comfort in chaos. So instead of asking, are religious people just dumb? Maybe we should ask, what do they know that we've forgotten? What can we learn from a worldview that speaks not just to the mind, but to the heart? Religion isn't above critique, but neither is the arrogance that comes with mocking it. True intelligence isn't just about being right, it's about being curious. And maybe, just maybe, the smartest thing we can do is to listen, even when we don't agree, because that's where understanding begins, and that's where wisdom lives.
More uncomfortable questions, more hidden truths, more mind-opening discussions. Subscribe now and turn on the bell if you're ready to see beyond the surface.